All right, we can go ahead and get started. Hi, everyone. My name is Cassie Wilcox, and I am the marketing manager here at RDC. We just want to thank you for taking the time to join our webinar event this afternoon. I'm very pleased to introduce you to Annah Van Gheem, our digital product manager. She will be walking us through the enhanced customer experience in RDC Digital today. We're excited to walk you through how RDC Digital can support your experience of working with us, giving you more visibility into your equipment and assets, streamlined communication with our team, and the tools you need to manage your facility more effectively. And with that, I will go ahead and turn it over to Anna.
Awesome. Thanks for the introduction, Cassie. And thank you all for taking time out of your day on your lunch break, perhaps, to join us. We're very excited to have you here. We are really excited to share with you just an in-depth look at RDC Digital and how it can just really enhance your experience as an RDC customer. We've been on the platform for about a year now, and we just rolled out kind of the version 2 after being on that first version for about a year. So we really just want to take the time today to show you some tangible applications for how you can use RDC Digital. So whether you're already a user or you're a potential user in the future, hopefully you leave this session feeling more equipped on what the tool offers and just like how to use it going forward. So in case you've never heard of it before, this is your first time kind of learning about what RDC Digital is. Like I said, we launched it for the first time really to like the wide customer base in 2025 after going through kind of a pilot program throughout 2024. And now we're on version 2. And we really think that this is just a tool that can help you navigate and find the information you're looking for efficiently. So whether that be work orders or asset history, create service requests, anything like that. That's kind of the basics of what it is. But looking beyond that, going a little bit further, getting into really like why RDC Digital exists. And I think the first reason is just around like prioritizing partnership through the platform. And so this is, if you leave with one takeaway, I want it to be that we don't intend for this tool to replace any of the communication you have with people at RDC. We want this tool to be something that enhances those relationships, that connects you with the right people. So no matter what you're dealing with at your facility, you have access to the right contacts at RDC that can help you solve these problems efficiently. And then the secondary kind of piece of that is that we want this platform to help you self-service on the really simple things so that when you have time to free up to work with your rep, to work with your support team on the really big issues, the safety issues, the efficiency, and go after and solve those big problems. So trying to eliminate some of that digging through your inbox or trying to find a piece of information from before you were in that role. And we're really going to talk through some of those scenarios as we go forward. And then the second thing I just want to touch on is that we've been collecting a lot of this data for a while. And so we would call it democratizing the data. That's a phrase that we want to use. And we want to make sure that you as a customer have access to the same information that we have internally. So when we're making decisions, we're really like moving forward and problem solving those decisions together with that same information base. And so hopefully as we look through, there's some new and exciting ways that you can really kind of use some of that data to make those decisions. So like I said, we really want today to feel tangible. And so we're going to look at just like a lot of practical applications, and I'm going to show you how you can get to some of that information within RDC Digital. And so we're going to go through some questions or maybe some problem statements that you might have asked yourself, or maybe someone at RDC, and we can just talk about how you can get to that information and hopefully how it can solve a problem for you at your facility. So the first one, we've got a page called Upcoming Visits. This lives under the Facilities tab and then also on that home menu. And really, we want to show you when you can expect an RDC technician at your facility. So this is showing the view for the next 7 days at your facility. We know that your schedule changes and you might request a change on our side. Maybe our schedule has changed and so we've shifted things around. Of course, we'll still communicate with you and let you know that. But then if you need that secondary look kind of right before that day, you can go ahead, look in here, and those visits are going to be posted. If you have a longer project that's taking place, you can see kind of maybe throughout the week when to expect those technicians on site. Another thing that might be really nice, if you have multiple people at your facility that are in charge of working with our dispatch team and scheduling work, maybe someone else scheduled a project with our dispatch team and you don't know what they scheduled, that's all in here, right? So hopefully creating some collaboration amongst your team. And so just trying to create that seamless information. So rather than you reaching out reactively, you have that information proactively. The next thing, again, kind of touching on that like ability to collaborate within your team, the ability to create a service request. Question maybe is, has someone at my facility already submitted this request, right? And if they're calling in or they're emailing in, there's not like a great way until that request becomes a work order to track that in our system. But if kind of all of the people in charge of maintenance at your facility are creating requests through this platform, you have a great ability to like go in, view who created it, when they created it, if a work order's been created, is the technician scheduled to be out, and really, again, just have that seamless flow of information. So this is on the asset specific page. So I would go in, submit my service request for this sectional door. Not going to ask very much information of you, just kind of what's going on from a description standpoint. And a lot of the way that this process works is going to be able to help get the right technician out to your facility really efficiently. And then if you see that kind of like your menu up at the top, you've got RDC requests as a menu label. And underneath that, there's view RDC requests. And so that's where you can go view all of your requests and see if maybe someone already submitted this Doc 8 door to be submitted for service. And so again, just like allowing that collaboration amongst your team with our team, that's what we're going for there. The next thing, I need a repair quote from my rep. So like I said, and I really want to stress that like we want you to keep calling your reps. We want you to keep emailing them and reaching out to your reps. But sometimes you might just have like a small repair and it's just easier to submit some of that information. That way, when you have like these big projects, you have time to work and collaborate on those big projects. And some of the smaller little things can kind of just like happen in like a quick submit. Rep takes that and can run with that. So we'll just ask you a couple kind of basic questions here. We'll get that information right to the rep and hopefully create like that really linear process for the easy things. Those big things, we still want to work through with you. We still want to problem solve those and execute on those. But some of the little things we think we can kind of speed up for your facility to help you keep your business moving. The next thing I want to touch on is just like this work order search tool. So maybe you need to find a service report from 3 years ago. You either moved into a new role, moved into a new facility, and you haven't been at that place or in that role for a long time. And so I don't know about you, but when I'm searching for emails, it's like the hardest thing to find what I'm trying to look for. And so you'll see on that right side, you've got that search bar and you can search by your PO number if you have that. You can search by just kind of what you think might be looking for. So that's a dock position, a certain type of repair, a certain piece of equipment. Go ahead and put that in that search bar, and that those work orders that have anything related to that are going to come up. And then from there, you can click into that work order and get that service report, get that full history of what went into that work order, what parts we used, anything that you might be looking for on that work order. So again, this is one where like, rather than you digging for something, rather than, you know, maybe sending your rep on a scavenger hunt to find something, you've got access to it. Go ahead, search for it, and it'll be right there. And this search functionality works in a lot of different places. So you can use this on the assets. You can use this in the RDC requests. So like I said, if you're looking through a list of requests that maybe a different team member has created. So that search bar on that right is really going to be your friend if you're looking for some historical information. Next thing I'll kind of touch on here, we've added some different like breakout views of work orders. So one of the things we have now is unpaid invoices. So where on the previous page it said all work orders, you can now toggle that to different views. And so this one is showing unpaid invoices. So if you just kind of want that dashboard view of what's outstanding, I know there's a lot of like feedback within the industry that sometimes it's hard to get the billing information or like a billing portal. And so we really wanted to like add some features that enable you to have that information. And so you can see right within this view, any of your work orders that have an outstanding balance, you'll see what that outstanding balance is. And then right within that, again, you can click into that work order, pull it up, and really like dive into what the work was on that work order, the balance due, and then we'll get into how you can even like pay that from there. So again, this is all under that facilities, and then there's a work order tab. You can get to that on the home menu as well, but otherwise looking kind of under that facilities tab is going to give you access to a lot of kind of like the major things that you're going to be interacting with in RDC Digital. And so highly encourage you to kind of play around with that, see what other breakout views there are. There's one for in progress work orders too. So again, instead of just looking through, searching through kind of all of those work orders, you can also just see what's in progress currently. So maybe you've got a PM work order that's in progress, a couple service repairs that we're waiting on parts for, whatever that might be. You can filter down to just the in progress work orders, and then be able to do the same thing with completed work orders. And so just wanted to encourage you to kind of know that that's available. Next thing we're going to look at, work order history. So what has been completed to date on this work order? I think sometimes, your PMs might stretch on for a long time. Maybe you've got a bigger install project that's going to span a couple days. And so under that service history section, you can really start to see at a granular level what's been completed in real time. And so, one of the examples, maybe you had a different maintenance manager that was closing the day before. And so you weren't at that facility, you weren't at your facility at the end of the day. So our technician checked out with someone else. You can go in and see what they actually completed for that day on that work order. So again, we still want our techs to be checking in, checking out with someone at your facility, but we also understand that you might not always be the one that they're checking in or checking out with. And so wanting you to have the ability to see what they're doing, even if maybe you're not the one that's there at the end of the day or the one that they're signing out with. And so we think that this can just help serve that need if you're maybe not around. And then also want to comment just while we're here, we're under that work order overview tab, but you also have one tab over, the attachments tab, and that'll be all of those service reports that we talk about, any photos that our technician took while they were at your facility. If it's allowed at your facility, those will be uploaded as well. So again, can help kind of fill that story of what's going on and what our technicians are working at, just trying to give you access to a lot of that information that we have within RDC Digital. The next thing, we've got kind of our billing side. So we've now moved one tab over, still living within that work order. And so the question might be, how can I reach out to the RDC accounting team, right? And maybe in some cases, you're just reaching out to your rep directly, which is still great, but we also want to give you the ability to connect directly with our billing and accounting team, who are phenomenal, right? We've got a lot of phenomenal people at RDC. And so I would encourage you, if you have a question on one of your invoices or one of the work that's been completed, we've got this box here now asking how we can help on this work order. And that's going to go directly to our billing team and allow them really the ability to quickly act on what that need might be. And so just above that, we've got the balance due, so you can see how much is currently owed on that work order. You've got the link to pay right there if you're paying via a credit card, and then also that invoice ID, so you could match up if you do happen to have those emails with the actual invoice. And so, yeah, just again, connecting you with our people right there on the specific work order. Next thing, what's the status of my RDC work orders? And so, like I said, you've got some of those different views that you can see what's been completed, what's in progress, that type of thing. But we also just within the platform want to give you the ability to kind of check off that list, see what's done, what's still in progress. And so you'll see that bell icon kind of in that top right of that screen. There's like a little red circle, and those are going to be your completed work orders. And so just giving you kind of that ability to quickly launch into that work order, you can kind of bypass some of those views, going into the tab, searching, just click into that completed work order, see the service report that's uploaded, see kind of those parts that were added, anything like that. And then I'll add in there that there's also kind of one tab over from that billing tab we just looked at. There's also that feedback tab. And that's feedback that we're only using internally. So we're just going to ask you 2 questions, just asking about how it went, and we're going to use that to make your experience better. So not trying to take a lot of time. We're not adding any messages to your inbox, but if you're in the platform reviewing your work orders, that just gives us a really good indication of how we're doing and how we can better serve you as a partner. I think Google reviews are great, and we definitely love when we get those, but sometimes that internal feedback can be really, really helpful too, rather than it always being public. So just in case you have something that you'd rather share internally, that's where that can live, and we're excited about having that option available as well. Next, we've got used inventory or inventory suggestion. So the idea being like, what inventory should maybe I stock at my facility? So this is one of the kind of like added resources that's going to live under the resource tab. And we'll talk about a couple other things that live under there. But the idea being here that this is something that you could collaborate with your rep on. If you think maybe there's some things that would be helpful for you to stock at your facility if we continue to use and replace those parts. The idea that you would have that conversation with your rep and make a plan for how to keep those in stock so that we can get you faster service, get that piece of equipment back up and running in less time. So again, this is meant to be a starting point with the rep, a really good conversation starter. And just like, again, that data that we have, we know what we're using. Does it make sense for you to then stock that? And that's just like a question that we think could be a good starting off point, and hopefully make some informed decisions and keep your facility up and running. Preventative maintenance. So maybe questions are, when's my next PM visit supposed to be? Where can I find my PM agreement? And so now, again, under that facilities tab, we have a preventative maintenance tab that you can go into. You'll see when your next expected PM visit is, which can be helpful. Any work orders that have been related to that. So you, again, can go in and see kind of what's been maybe written up for repair or anything like that. PM agreements and files is one tab over, and that's where you could get access to that annual PM agreement. Like I said, we send those out annually, but maybe something comes up, you want to go reference what equipment is included on this, what is included in my preventative maintenance service. You can go in, reference that PM agreement file, and then also kind of all of your PM reports will show up there as well. And the idea just being that part of RDC Digital is that it comes with your PM plan. It's a value add for our PM customers. And so as we look at partnering with you on your maintenance at your facility, we want to make sure that you have kind of that one place to find all of that PM information. And so that's what's living here. Over on that right side, you'll see that request PM information. And so if something comes up where you need to change the schedule of your PM, change the equipment that's on your PM, anything like that, you can go ahead and just submit that request. That'll go directly to our PM coordinator. And again, it just keeps some of that information consolidated. That again, hopefully helps us improve, helps us continue to work really smoothly at your facility. So if something does need to change on your PM, highly recommend you can use that as the process to make changes. Moving on, we've got asset history. So the question might be, what happened on this asset before I was in this role? And so kind of under that, again, parts used, service notes, you can go in and see just like what happened and when it happened on that asset. And so it's similar to what lives on the work order, except that's contained to a specific work order. I think there's a lot of power in what's happening here underneath that service note section, because going back to 2021 now and all in one place, you can kind of see that service history of what happened. And so if we're continually writing something up on that service or on that service note section, maybe it's time to upgrade the equipment or make a change at your facility with the equipment you're using. And so especially, if you've changed roles or if something has changed within the way your facility operates, if you're bringing in new team members, can be really helpful to use that service note section and kind of see all of the work orders, whether it be an install or a repair, PM, anything like that. that asset has appeared on. And then that work order is always going to be clickable too. So you can go in, click, and get access to that work order, that service report write-up, all of that will be able to be linked right from there. You'll also on this asset page have the ability to request that service and kind of see kind of the specs of that asset as well. So hopefully kind of having that all in one view is really helpful when looking at that. The next thing we've got, we're pretty excited about. This is something new that was a part of the release last week. And so this is, you know, to hopefully help you answer the question, how much am I spending to maintain this asset? And so this is living right next to that asset page, and it's the annual maintenance costs. And so included in this is your repair and your maintenance, like PM cost. It's not including like capital repairs or capital replacements or install. It's only kind of that repair and maintenance side. But you can see here, we've got it broken down by year. You'll see the total maintenance cost, how many times that asset has appeared on a work order, and then what that averages out to on each work order. I'll emphasize here that this is an estimate. We don't have the exact numbers, but we think this is a pretty close estimate of what you're spending, and hopefully enables you to have the data you need to make decisions to justify the cost to the people you report to. If, you know, in this example, this is test data, but in this example, you can see that maybe nothing was done in 2022. So there's just a gap there in that data. So if you were to log into one of your assets and maybe you see 2021 and 2026 and nothing in between, that just means that we didn't service it, we didn't PM it within that year. And then that 2026 or whatever the current year is, that's going to be rolling through the previous month. And so just want to kind of point that out as well while we're looking at it, that it's live up to a point. And so you can get a good idea of where that spend is throughout the year on that specific asset as well. And then again, this is one of those pieces of information that we want you to collaborate with your rep on. We want you to be armed with this, to have those conversations, to bring that information to your reps. So you can have like really intentional decisions about what decisions to make with your rep at your facility and where to put money into investing in new equipment or just continuing to repair it. So not trying to eliminate those conversations, just trying to enhance the experience you have with your rep around those. The next thing we've got is this RDC contact list. So if after kind of going through a lot of these, you're thinking, oof, I still don't know who to reach out to, we've got your contacts right here. We've got your rep, we've got safety, we've got a lot of people that you can reach out to if you just want to go direct to that inbox. And I think the point we want to emphasize here is, again, like, want to make it so clear that we want you connecting with our people. We value our people at RDC. We just want to make things easier where we can for you. We want to take care of you, our customers. And so if there is something that we can do, please, let us know, reach out to us. We think we have really good systems in place within the platform, but if you just need that direct contact, that exists here on this page as well. And that's living underneath that resources tab. So underneath that resources tab is where you'll see a lot of those, that inventory suggestion page we talked about, the contact RDC, you'll see our product catalog available, a lot of things like that hopefully just enhance your experience as a customer. And I think as we go forward, you'll start to see even more things added to that page, and that's really exciting as well. I'll comment too that everything we've looked at today is live within the site right now. So none of this is future facing. This is all functionality that's available to you right now that you can go ahead and really take advantage of, implement within your facility. So that kind of concludes, that's the portion where we go through those problem statements. So again, I just really want to thank all of you for taking time out of your day. I really appreciate it. I hope that there was something valuable that you took away that just helps you keep your business moving. My contact information is on the screen. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions, if there's something you would want to see a little bit more in depth. My team's always really happy to go do like in-person training. So if you have additional people at your facility that you think would benefit from access and you would want to do some sort of in-person lunch and learn, we're happy to get out on site. Feel free to reach out. We can definitely do that and make sure that your team is equipped in whatever way to really use this information. The last thing I'll say is you'll get an email here shortly. Oh, we lost it. Sorry. There we go. There's that. Oh, there we go. Sorry, everyone. Oh. Just want to get that contact information back on the screen. There we go. You'll get a recording emailed with all of this. And then within that email, there'll also be a link. And so if you're interested in getting access today, you can go ahead and click that link and we'll get you set up with access within the next day. So again, thank you all. Really appreciate your time. And please reach out if there's anything I can do or my team can do to just help you keep your business moving. So thank you.